This is not a drill. It's happening for the first time since Black Ops Cold War. We have post-season story. The story from the Black Ops 6 campaign is actually returning, and each individual season we are going to be getting a new aspect to it. It involves Pantheon. It involves a fan favorite character from the campaign, Savati Dumas, as well as Troy Marshall, and some other people are worked in there as well. And as per usual, like I always do on the channel, I always dive into the story of Call of Duty. So if you want to stay up to date on all of the story for Call of Duty, make sure you're subscribed, have notifications on. I am going to break down what the seasonal story is going to be for Black Ops 6 moving forward, how it fits into the overall story, and everything you need to know. But first, in case you missed it, here's the actual cinematic.
The Pantheon's infiltrated Avalon's underworld. They're after the global crime networks. It's all about influence and control.
We're not gonna let that happen. Sev, what's the play?
We need allies. My record? The French Syndicate. We can't trust them, but we can make a deal. We take down the rival Lutazzi family and they return the favor. It's a three-part operation. First, distract. The Lutazzi have rare tastes. We use that against them. Second, sabotage. We cut their legs right out from under them. Third, we get the fuck out.
Right. And when it goes off the rails?
We improvise.
Gets involved.
You worry about the Lutazzi. I'll take care of the guild. Time to get your hands dirty.
So there is a lot to this, starting out with Pantheon, but first you have to understand what is going on at this point in the story. And Sev literally says it right at the very beginning.
The Pantheon's infiltrated Avalon's underworld. They're after the global crime networks.
So Pantheon is after the global crime networks, and the question is why, and if you didn't already know, who is Pantheon? So in case you didn't play the campaign, or maybe you don't know, Pantheon was the evil group within Call of Duty Black Ops 6. One of the commanders within it is one of the people that we are fighting throughout the campaign is known as Jane Harrow. However, she is not the leader or founder or anything along those lines. However, Pantheon was founded after a division within the CIA known as the Advanced Technology and Application Division met a kind of crossroads, if you will. You see, they were developing something known as Cradle. Cradle was something used and injected into Case, one of the main characters in the campaign, to turn him into a super soldier. After there were several bad side effects, some of the CIA's Advanced Technology and Applications Division thought it was a good idea just to shut the project down, where others thought it would be a good idea to turn it into a biological weapon. That group separated off into Pantheon. At the end of the Black Ops 6 campaign, we end up stopping Jane Harrow. However, we find out from Daniel Livingstone that indeed Pantheon is not dead. They are still in the shadows and they still need to be stopped.
The Cold War may be over, but the world is more dangerous than it's ever been. The nature of our enemy is unclear now.
What do you want us to do about it?
What you've always done. Protect us. Harrow may be gone, but not the Pantheon. I need you back in Avalon.
You think you're still a threat?
I do. And worse. Whatever cabal brought Harrow into the Pantheon still lives inside our house. We thought they were long gone. But it turns out, they never left.
So Pantheon is still on the inside of the CIA, and we don't know what they are doing next. That is until the Season 1 story comes along. So on December 7th, 1991, which by the way is almost a full year after the first mission of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, it took place on January 3rd, we are now in December. But on this date, we are outside of Avalon and our rogue Black Ops agents are hunting down Pantheon, and Pantheon is trying to join all the global crime networks. The question is why? And also, Does this include Raul Menendez's drug cartel as a global crime network? Maybe something for a future season? But specifically in season 1, he is joining the Avalon crime networks, and we, as the rogue agents, need some people to work with us. So Savati Dumas puts together a plan to do just that.
It's all about influence and control.
We're not gonna let that happen. Sev, what's the play?
We need allies. My record? The French Syndicate. We can't trust them, but we can make a deal. We take down the rival Lutanzi family and they return the favor.
So the good guys are trying to get people on their side, specifically the French Syndicate. Now, we don't know who these people are or who they consist of, but what we do know is their competitors are the Lutanzi crime family inside of Avalon. Also, that godmother character that pops up on screen, we don't know who that is yet, but I would assume it's an operator that's coming further down the line. So in season 1, Sev has a plan put together to take down the Lutanzi family, and that is what she goes over next.
It's a 3-part operation. First, distract. The Lutanzi have red tastes. We use that against them. Second, sabotage. We cut their legs right out from under them. Third, we get the fuck out.
Right. And when it goes off the rails?
We improvise.
So what is cool about this part of the cutscene, and this has never been done before in any of the post seasons, they actually give the backstory of what is happening on all 3 multiplayer maps that are being added with season 1. First off, we have Heirloom. This is the museum map on Avalon. Essentially, the Lutanzi family has a bunch of their artifacts within this museum, and they are going to go in and destroy a bunch of them to therefore distract the Lutanzi family. Then we have Hideout. This is the area where the Lutanzi family is keeping all of their stuff, and especially all of their money. Our job is to break in and destroy all their stuff, burn all their money, and take out all of their assets. The final map being Extraction, which is the helo pad on Avalon. We go there, and as says,
we get the fuck out.
I thought this was a really great way of introducing all of the maps, and I'm actually shocked that they have never done this before. But then in the final little section of the trailer, we maybe get the most important part.
And if the guild gets involved?
You worry about the Lutanzi. I'll take care of the guild.
Now this part may not make any sense to you if you really didn't pay attention to the campaign, because for this you need to know a little bit of the backstory of Savati Dumas and what happened to her, and specifically with the guild. And in that, we have to have a conversation with her with Case.
Years ago, I was involved with someone. His name was Pascal, another member of the guild. I had never met anyone like him. Someone who didn't take me at face value. He was convinced I wasn't a killer at heart, that I cared too much. And I believed him. I told guild leadership that I no longer wanted that life. They confided in me. They knew that Pascal was an operative from a rival family. He had infiltrated the guild to sow discord, take our secrets. They had the evidence.
So the guild is essentially a crime family within Avalon, and Sev was an assassin for the guild. And her husband, or partner, or whoever it may be, was also in the guild, but the guild convinced her that he was evil. So what she did next...
So they had me orchestrate his assassination. The most difficult thing I've ever done.
So she kills him, and then finds out shortly after that the whole thing was a setup by the guild. So she vows revenge.
But it probably won't shock you, Case, to learn what happened next. The whole thing was a lie. He was innocent. I fled the guild and vowed to myself that I would bring the whole house down. Pascal was right about one thing. I do care too much. But he also got something wrong. I am a killer. Irreversibly.
So this bunch of dialogue essentially sets up what is going on in season 1. With the return of Savati Dumas, as we mentioned at the very end, she is ready to fight the guild within Avalon. As well, Pantheon, who I'm assuming is trying to distribute Cradle as a biological weapon, is now trying to work with the criminal underworld. Whether that means just working with the crime families in Avalon, or whether that means spreading out and potentially even working with Menendez, we don't know as of yet, but it's interesting that that tie-in is already presenting itself just in season 1. Now, as far as what exactly is going on in season 1, we have two families. First off, we have the French Syndicate. Those are the people we are trying to get on our side. We are doing so by trying to sabotage the Lutazzi crime family. When it comes to season 1, the 3 maps are how we are doing that. We are going in and creating a distraction on Heirloom. Then we are breaking into their storage facility and burning down all of their money. And finally, we are extracting on Extraction. I know, really creative name. Now, as far as the rest of the story moving forward, we also have the guild, and I think this is where Savati Dumas is really going to come into play further on. Now, I don't know whether we're getting more story cinematics mid-season, or maybe at the end of seasons, or whether we won't get any till the beginning of season 2, but we can see where this is going moving forward. With the introduction of Pantheon getting involved with the underground crime families, we can also see where a possible crossover with Raul Menendez may come in as well. Now, personally, I would love to see a little bit more Pantheon and a little bit less crime family moving forward, just because there's so many unanswered questions there. But no matter what happens, as you guys know, we will be covering all the story on the channel. I got many more story videos coming soon, so make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, let me know what you think down in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars.